Hi guys, I am so excited that you're here today. I am starting a new project. I am. I really wanted to start this in January, but I kind of was intimidated by it, and so I wanted to wait. And I don't want to wait until next January to do it. So I'm just going to start midway through the year. It is June. It is halfway mark. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. This is a take on the Pan Those Eyeshadows project. There are a lot of creators that do the Pan Those Eyeshadows. I don't want to pan my eyeshadows. I just want to use them. So the premise is you're going to choose eyeshadows that you wouldn't normally use or that don't have enough love or whatever, and you use them a certain amount of times or until you hit pan. Like I said, I don't want to hit pan. I just want to make some dents. I had a really hard time trying to come up with a name for this. I was talking with Ash from Makeup and Chaos, and I was like, I don't know what to call it. I don't want to call it Pan Those Eyeshadows because I'm not panning my eyeshadows. And they came up with several great names, but one of them that they came up with was making dents. And that's what I'm doing. I'm making dents in my eyeshadow. And that was going to be what it was called. But then I realized that nobody's going to know what that means because a lot of people know what Pan Those Eyeshadows is, but they don't know what making dents is. So that's what we're doing though. We're making dents in the eyeshadow. So I'm kind of borrowing the way I'm going to do this from Alejandra Lisette. I will have her linked in the description box below. She is a much bigger YouTuber than I, but she does randomly selects, and that's what I want to do. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to tell you the rules now, and then I will always have them in the description box below so that you can revisit so that I don't have to go through them every time. So if you want to hear what this is all about, then stick around. Welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Andi. I'm really happy that you're here. Okay, you guys. So basically I want to use my eyeshadows. When I reach for a palette, I reach for the same shades in that palette every time. Every time. And I tried doing a palette collection bingo, which actually didn't go over very well. People liked it, but it was not something that people wanted to watch as a whole. So I stopped doing that at the first of the year. And I probably will do some of that, but still, I randomly choose a palette, but I'll still reach for the same shades in that palette. So this is what the premise is. I'm going to randomly choose 2 palettes. In those 2 palettes, I'm going to randomly choose 1 eyeshadow shade in that palette. And I have to use it a certain number of times. And then I'm going to randomly choose 2 singles, 2 of my eyeshadow singles. If it's a single eyeshadow, it's in the wheel. And then I'm going to randomly choose a Supershock because my Supershocks do not get near the love. And again, I reach for the same ones all the time. So we're going to have 5 shades to work with. 5 shades to work with. They do not have to be cohesive. It does not have to be a cohesive color story. I just have to use those in some way or another 10 times. And when I use a shadow 10 times, it will roll out the next month when we do our update. And then I will roll in another shadow randomly. I'm going to be using the Wheel of Names on my Kindle tablet. But when I randomly choose the shade in the palette, I'm going to have to do a screen record and put it up here for you because I use my phone to film, and the Kindle App Store does not have the Tiny Decisions app, which is the one I really like to use. They have a number generator. It's just not cute. It's just not cute. And I want something cute. I want it to be fun. So until I get another tablet or maybe one of my old phones or whatever that I can do that, then I will stick with the screen record. And then when I come back with my shades, I'll tell you which one was chosen and I'll show it to you over here. Okay, is that a deal? That's a deal. Okay, let's just jump into this. Okay, I have all of my palettes in my Wheel of Names. So we are going to choose a palette. Blend Bunny Dollhouse. I'm going to write these down. Okay, that is a good one. Okay, we're going to choose one more. BH Mimosa. Okay, so we have the Blend Bunny Dollhouse palette and the BH Mimosa palette. Okay, so I have brought up my single shadows. So we are going to choose the first single shadow. I'm choosing 2. Give Me Glow, Pretty Little Lilac. Okay. I'm going to remove that from the wheel because we have chosen that. And then we're going to do one more. ColourPop Taffy Much. It's from the On a Whimsy palette. It's a single that I pulled out of the On a Whimsy palette, and I'm not sure which one it is. I'm going to remove that from the wheel, and now I am opening up my Supershock wheel. By the way, the Wheel of Names, I am loving it. It is like a Google extension. Yeah, it's free. It's completely free. Okay, here are all of my Supershocks. We're only going to choose one. Born in LA. I don't know what that looks like, but I think it might be an orange. Okay, so I'm going to go. I'm going to remove that. Okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to grab my palettes. I'm going to do my screen record with my Tiny Decisions app. Not Tiny Decisions. Pretty random, but pretty random app. And then we'll be back and we'll discuss. Okay, so we are back. Interesting, interesting. Like I said, it does not have to be a cohesive color story. Thank goodness for that. Okay, so the first palette that was chosen was the Blend Bunny Dollhouse palette. So I randomized 1 through 30 because there are 30 shades, and it said 13. 13 is this shade right here. And then it chose the Mimosa palette, which is here, and it shows the shade number 4, which is this shade right here is number 4, and that is called Pomegranate. The other one is called Plastic. So this is called Pomegranate. So those are the 2 that it chose in my palettes. And then in my singles, it chose the Give Me Glow Lilac, which is this shade right here, which I'm going to take out and put it in a little baby Z palette that I have put aside specifically for this project. And then it also chose ColourPop Taffy Much, and this was from the On a Whimsy palette. I did declutter the palette, but I kept certain shimmers from it, and this is Taffy Much. Then I randomly chose a Supershock, and it chose Born in LA, which I was right. It is an orange-y type of shade. So let me swatch these on my hand real quick and show you what we're dealing with. Okay, this is the color story that we're working with. This is the Plastic shade from the Dollhouse. This was the Pomegranate from the Mimosa palette. This is the Give Me Glow Lilac shade. This is the Taffy Much from the ColourPop single that I got. And then this is Born in LA. This is my Supershock. So I have to use each one of these shades 10 times. So through the months, I'm sure this color story will change a lot because I'm hoping to get through these. And I'm really happy that I'm doing this because this is not a shade that I would reach for ever. I hardly ever reach for singles. I haven't reached for the lilac shade in so long, and I haven't reached for the On a Whimsy since I decluttered it. And I've only swatched this. I've never used it. I think that this, and this will look really pretty together. So I might end up using those together with another palette or in a look or whatever. So tell me, you guys, if you think that this is a fun kind of project. Again, I saw this on Alejandra Lisette. This is the way she does it. And I just feel like that is so much fun to randomly choose because, as I said, there are shades in these palettes I will never use. I may use the palette. I may hit pan on several shades, but there are several shades in these palettes that will never get used because it's just not something that I gravitate toward. So I'm really excited about using these things, using up my shades, and making dents in my eyeshadow. So we will see when we do our update in July. It's probably going to be the second week of the month because that's a week that I really don't have a whole lot scheduled going on. So it will probably be around like 10th to 12th, something like that is when these updates will come up. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the color story. Let me know what you think of the project. And if you think I'm insane for starting a new one. I just want to use my stuff, you guys. I want to use my stuff. I want to use my shadows. I bought them. I've spent an exorbitant amount of money over the last few years buying these palettes, and I need to use them so that I don't feel like my money is being wasted. Does that make sense? I really appreciate you guys being here. And until our next adventure, and this is an adventure, everyone have a great day, and we'll see you later.